Okay, so how did I come across? Well, I'm a big fan of this guy Jerry Bryant. Okay, who used to have this show, and he still had this show for years and years, introducing people to new music. And the artists were actually interviewed by him. He would actually go to concerts and film the concerts himself. And he never had a rerun, so he met so many different people. So I enjoy learning new music from JBTV, right? So I found some. I mean, just like, oh, this is Meg Myers. It's just she's edgy, and she's kind of the the original lyrics. They don't just come out of the like something AI could have created, and so first of all, I mean, I thought the music was good. Then I listened to the lyrics a little closer. I started. Then the next step was, I wonder if I'm the only one who notices that like somebody with borderline personality disorder could really relate to these lyrics. And then I went online, and sure enough, I find other people thinking the same thing. And then I didn't necessarily mean that she has borderline personality disorder, but she can relate to people, maybe because of trauma in her life. So the next step would have been, well, I was inspired originally, like write some email or whatever, and then later on, it was like, wow, this Patreon thing, it's actually her talking. Wow, that's pretty cool. I guess I should say another thing is I saw an interview where she seemed to have like.
So being able to connect with her on Patreon was what really, got you to get to know her personally then after you got to...
I mean, it's not fair to say that I know her personally because I just know her from online, but yeah. Okay, yeah, so yeah.
You get to know people personally, not personally as in she's my friend. I mean, you got to know her personality then?
Yeah, I mean, and so I saw her in interviews, and she did seem to come across sort of, I mean, maybe you could even say, I'm pretty in tune with Asperger's, and I mean, it could be the way she came camera, but of course it was really apparent and it was just so it was really refreshing, and that first of all, one of the things that was concerning for me was I did see in an interview that when Meg does a performance, she doesn't just remember a last performance and just do that again. It seems like she even mentioned it. And I've always seen that way, that she was in touch with her feelings at the time. So it'd be like, okay, so when she performs a song, she remembers how she felt when she wrote the song, and just gets a hold of that energy and that thoughts and all the emotion of that, and she taps into that when she performs again. And so it's not just redoing it. Each performance, it's just she's really in touch with the emotions when she wrote the song and stuff. And so one of the things I was worried about, oh my gosh, if you're in touch with it over and over again, wouldn't it seem like it'd be taking your energy out? It'd be like you'd be a big energy draw that you're in touch with this, and I think that that's probably why she doesn't really want to do all of her old songs again. She's done it enough, and now she wants to do something new. Also, some things that were pretty interesting.
Well, and remember, this is what I really noticed on her is the same thing that happened to me with my Goddess Temple group, only in a smaller level because I'm not her. She's like an infamous person already. She could be on Wikipedia in a year or two. She could. Is that she is dealing with all the collective energy coming at her, remember? She talks about that a lot when she's talking.
Oh, yes. An interesting thing, another thing is I think it was Christmas of 2021 that she mentioned that like people sent her presents and with letters and things. And it's like it was kind of drawn because she felt it was so sweet that people would send her things and letters, and she really wishes she could answer them all, but she is just one person, and so it would be difficult. And it must be frustrating to have, I mean, in some ways frustrating, in some ways, nice that so many people care about you and think about you to write a letter. And so it also reminds me of another autistic person who had the same dilemma. I mean, is a social Aspie girl who everybody wanted to know her because she's a social Aspie. So anybody that wanted to be social and had trouble with social issues saw the success of her, and they wanted to reach out to her. And she still has Asperger's, so she's not wanting to have this huge circle of hundreds of people in her circle. And so it was kind of sad because people wanted to get to know her, but yet she isn't capable of having, I mean, being an Aspie person isn't necessarily easy to have hundreds of friends and things. So I got to understand what that would be like. So now I can be sympathetic to perhaps Meg's issue being sort of famous, being not sort of, she's famous, and then having all these people write to her. Now the interesting thing is,
well, maybe you can soldier the army of people that are going to save mankind. Remember, Asperger's are going to save humanity someday.
I'm not that pompous to say it myself, but thank you.
Well, no, I mean, hey, maybe you can soldier the field of Asperger's have all the hard time fitting in, which I understand completely. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just trying to be humorous because I know we don't always take ourselves seriously. But maybe, yeah, we can be part of soldiering. I can help you soldier the team of people that are going to change the world.
Well, okay, so some of the
doing right.
Yeah, yes, and okay, so Meg's more recent songs like My Mirror is it looks very much that she's hoping to find people who she can relate to. So it'd be interesting. So she could have actually made her Patreon to get as many followers as possible and just what could I do to get the most followers? But really, she's turned it around to find people like herself. Like she's really herself in her videos, and
she might not know that that's what she's doing.
Well, that's an interesting point. But anyways, that's what's happening is, and the good, that'll be a good thing in a way.
From the outside, like, okay, well, plus we're wiser too, remember? And we're like, been doing this for a while. You're older and wiser, right?
Well, and so, like, the whole thing is that, first of all, there aren't a lot of social Aspies out there. Most people, Asperger's are much to themselves. And I'm going to say is that you could have, so it's easy with her in her position having all this notoriety of being a famous singer-songwriter person, and then so the majority of people will find her from that. Now, fans of her music, she'll have a disproportionate number of fans of her music as opposed to fans of Aspie Girl. So the thing is that, and hopefully she'll be able to find, in addition to her tribe of fans of her music, to find fans of her, the Aspie Girl, who, and so her platform, drawing a big net, could actually, hopefully, those other part of her tribe that she needs in her life. If you think about, we're all part of several tribes, right? You're part of the tribe of women, right? You're part of the tribe. That's a big tribe, right? And you're a tribe of like retired women is about, it's a smaller tribe. So if you think about being a musician, that's part of the tribe. But then an Aspie musician, that's the thing, and who's into mountain biking and new age philosophies and following spirit guides, and now you either have to have several of those, a tribe of mountain bikers, a tribe of people who want to learn surfing and all these different, and hopefully, but it'd be great if you could find some that have more than one of those things.
Hey, look at the rainbows.
Rainbows, cool.
Is it coming from that thing, I think? I bet.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay.
Hit that, just tap that.
Oh, I'm so sure it's a prism.
Yes, a prism. I just want to see it. Oh, isn't that cool?
That's like a disco light of rainbows.
Cool.
So, anyway, I'm hoping. I am part of the tribe of mountain biking people into goddess culture and Asperger's and so I have a lot of, and Meg Myers music, how about that? So, and all those things combined, it would seem like that would be really cool if I actually, I'm sure Meg Myers loves her own music. Also the whole thing of creative things. I do my engineering because I like to be creative, and I've always appreciated people who are musical and artsy, and that's why I love you and your painting, and also, like, Meg also paints. I actually did purchase a couple of her prints. It'd be fun actually to wear one of her prints.
What does she paint?
Well, there's sort of new agey things. Like there's one of like an alien. I have them in my office, a couple of them.
They were very random.
There was like a third eye, it seemed, if you look at one of them and stuff.
And it distorted human noise a little bit.
Yeah, so...
Which makes completely sense about how she feels. Her
right.
art is an expression of that disjointed feeling. I saw her eye one, the...
Oh, right. The other one was she drew this thing that was like I believe it was like a creator thing, and it's I guess I can share that one. I could find it in her Patreon account and stuff. So it was kind of nice. It was like Meg was right up there in the pod that has this. You can stargaze all night with it in the pod. So it's kind of fun that I could, it's like I'll remember that, like it was almost like she was there. So that was kind of fun. So, anyway, well, I guess it just sounds like I'm a nutcase. Well, see, it's the one again. See, I'm doing the same thing she does.
Don't do it.
The negative thing. See, I'm doing the negative thing again.
Do it, especially what the remember the 8 things you never do. I'm trying to rewind my tapes too. Trying to, like what you said to me. No, you're not crazy. You're unique.
Yeah.
And you're special, individual. You have.
I caught myself, and I'm glad you caught me too. Is it just because you're different doesn't mean it's wrong? And I mean, I guess the thing is we're all judged by other people, but it's great when you can uniquely be yourself without being judged. I mean, you think there's so many Disney movies about that.
Judging yourself, because that's what we tend to do. Like I say how I wish I was stronger. The strength I didn't, I've been saying that. I'm never going to say it again. It's like I made the choices that had to be made, and I was as strong as I needed to be. Now today I'm alive. I look pretty. Tracy said I looked really nice, didn't she? I was waiting to hear her say if I looked okay, because that's what we women want, is another woman to say you look okay. It's like, so instead of saying, how I should have made all these. A few days ago, I even said all these things that I shoulda, coulda, woulda done if I hadn't been so naive. All those things, I'm never saying those things again. Everything of that is powerful shit I went through.
Okay, so things that you say you could have done, if you could just do that now, right? I mean, can't you could just...
No, it doesn't matter. No, it's all over now. My divorce is over. I sold the property. I don't own it. I'm done. It's done and over. And, I have to take ownership of it as a strong individual. I went through a lot to get here, and it's over. It's done. If my mom had wanted me to live there the rest of my life, she would have done something about it. And now I don't have to. It doesn't have to cluster fuck my life with all that. I have to look at the positive sides of my own personality, just like you. Like that's what it says, right? And the thing, stop torturing yourself with the weaknesses that you have. And look at it now as, okay, we've overcome all those. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yes, you just said just a second ago, no, look at me, I'm doing the same thing Meg was doing. Mm-hmm. So it's like we have to, maybe that's what I said a little while ago. I'm maybe here just to help you. You all think differently. Mm-hmm. You all need to think differently.
I guess we're just used to being judged, but the point is that we're not all supposed to be like everyone else. The point you learn to this is that we're not all supposed to be alike.
Yes.
The whole thing is that like if you think about the different dog breeds there are, right? They're bred for different purposes. Well, that's obvious. It's obvious that they're bred for different purposes. So the thing is people, we're not necessarily bred, but we didn't need thousands of Albert Einsteins to come up with the theory of relativity. You just needed one, and then you have it. So it seems as though we have like a bell-shaped curve for different traits, and so maybe we have lots of people who love teaching, and you have a lot of teachers because of that, and like we so being somebody that's on the fringe, I appreciate that. Okay, some people like if you think, well, I'm getting invited to the party, I'll invite this guy, and he's certainly a regular Joe. Everybody seems to like him, or whatever. Okay, great. Now, why do I need to invite another guy like him? I mean, just so they can agree with each other? I mean, why not can't I learn more from people with different perspectives? And so for that reason, it's not, I mean, I appreciate hearing new sides of things from people. And that's why the whole idea of, meeting Tracy, she has her own viewpoints. So I'm willing to hear that. I mean, I am actually it seems as though after 2015 or so, generally, I don't even want to listen to any new music anymore. It's all produced by the record companies. It's all about, the same people are producing them. They know what topics sell. Make it about sex and love and whatever, and everybody's gonna buy it. And here's this millennial whoop sounds.
What about Taylor Swift though?
Well, I can't badmouth her because my daughter was a big fan of hers, but I mean, to me, it's kind of I don't think anything about her music is all that unique. And boy, am I going to be getting a lot of hates for if anybody hears me say that. I don't feel it's. I mean, it's.
I don't know a lot about her music at all. All I know is that she really does seem to have held the standards of being a superstar example for girls.
Yeah, that's true. There's some positive things about her. I mean, I guess
Britney she went off the edge. Crazy,
Yeah, I mean, so Britney, if you think about it, the Disney Channel. I mean, Disney produced and made her. I mean, she was on the Mickey Mouse Club, and she's a good dancer. So the whole point is she was a manufactured singer, dancer. So she didn't rise up because her raw talent. I mean,
was she 12 or 10?
Yeah, I mean, she was on the Disney. So Disney promoted her and made her popular, and because they promoted her, and so you could say that. I mean, she's not really that great of a singer. She can sing into a harmonizer that makes her sound good, and she's, I guess she's an entertainer because she dances really nice. I mean, I think Christina Aguilera came out of the same thing, and I think she's actually a much more talented singer. I'm thinking of people who write their own songs, though, like Avril Lavigne. How she's much more talented. She's a good singer. She's a songwriter.
So Christine
Aguilera. I think she was on. Yeah.
She came out of Disney too.
Yeah, and I think one of those male pop stars.
She's an amazing.
Well, she can actually sing.
Yes, she can. Well, Britney can sing. Well, that's a total.
I mean, okay, yeah, she can sing. I don't think she's a great singer. So okay. Now I'll compare. I'm gonna say some other comparisons. So, first of all, spirit into the music. I mean, you gotta say Meg Myers, but if I were to say a second person, I'm gonna say Tori Amos. I know that sounds a little bit bizarre, but she seems okay. She really connects with the audience. In fact, I strongly recommend, as much as you go on and listen to the Meg Myers interview with Jerry Bryant. I mean, Tori Amos's interviews with Jerry Bryant are just spectacular. Absolutely. I mean, and there seems to be some kind of weird. See, I'm saying weird. I'm not gonna say weird anymore. This. Like when Tori Amos looks at Jerry Bryant. I mean, Jerry Bryant has interviewed thousands of people. He sent me one time a list of all the people who've been on his show. But somehow when Tori Amos was there, he's like, it almost seems like he's about to say Ahmada, Ahmada, Ahmada. Somehow he's more starstruck because of the emotional, the spiritual connection. I know that Tori Amos is this very spiritual person. So if I were to compare a Meg Myers to somebody as far as connecting with the audience, I would say Tori Amos. Now, if I were to say another thing that's amazing, it sounds like I'm just an advertising, I guess, but I'm not meaning to, but she is my favorite artist right now. Okay, another one would be Jewel. Jewel also writes her own songs, but Jewel can change her voice up and stuff. Now, I know that Meg is talking about taking some voice lessons and improving, but she can actually make her voice sound differently. I mean, and actually she goes back and forth, like in the song Done. I know that's more of a obscure hit of hers. I mean, maybe it wasn't that very hit, but from the Take Me to the Disco album. But like, I mean, it alternates, and it's kind of a dark song, not just kind of a dark song. Okay, just own it. Once again, it's a dark song. But she alternates between the two voices that are sort of, and as the lyrics go back and forth, I mean, like a game of ping pong, her voice changes it up. And so Jewel has an amazing ability to change up the sound of her voice, so she can sound deep, and she can sound like a little kid. She can yodel.
Are we recording this?
Yeah, I'm recording this. So Jewel can yodel. Like, she doesn't often do that in her concerts, but so I'm
yodeling.
Yes, that's that. She can actually do that. I'll have to find an example of that. And it's not something that it's her big step forward.
I remember when I was a kid, I didn't think it was that big of a deal to yodel. I thought yodel, that's a yodeling, right?
Yeah, so well, it actually goes back and forth between your falsetto.
Yeah, there is a lot more than that. It gets more complicated and it's more beautiful. And so I remember when we were taught my class, this was one of the embarrassing times of my life, honestly. And this goes back to social too. I can think back now that you're making me think back of all the times that I misunderstood the social norms or what the answer should be based on the fact that I just didn't know that was you know what I mean, that had happened. And the teacher asked if anybody, they were talking about yodeling, and he asked if anybody in the class knew how to yodel. And I don't think it was a I don't think it was a real question. You know, and I said, yeah, I know how to yodel. And, you know, I knew how to do that much, but then he totally I belittled me and embarrassed me to believe that none of you know how to yodel, just like you just
What a
did.
mean teacher. You gotta say.
Yeah, it was like, gee, well, what, you know, it is more complicated than that, though.
But you tried, though. See, your point is,
I did.
you know, why should be penalized for trying?
That affected my life completely. When he did that, it's like, once again, that goes back to the social, you know, unrecognizing that that's just it's like almost like a trick fucking question.
Yes, it was mean to do that. It was mean to do that because it's like.
Because it was a trick question to see who in class is going to be a smart ass and think that they can yodel, and of course that's me. I'm the one that stepped right in the shit. But
the fact that you're willing to try.
Yes. Well, I thought I knew how was the point. Is not necessarily try. I knew, and that you know was like a pretty arrogant, you know. I had no idea that yodeling got so complicated.
Well, now I'll have to take a break to listen to yodel. And in fact, we're going to have to listen to Jewel yodeling. And then I'll have to, okay, so we have to stop. We have to take a yodeling break.